So he clicks to call from that website. And because we have all this contextual information about who he is, what he was looking at on the website, skip over the whole IVR thing. You don't need to do that, right? Don't make him push any buttons or anything like that. Get him right to an agent who's an expert in what he's calling about. The agent will be able to see his identity, so they won't have to do things like ask for mother's maiden name or last 4 digits of the social security number. He's already authenticated. Why do that? Meanwhile, you're preserving your investment. You don't have to put in a completely different infrastructure because you've brought WebRTC into your contact center. Now, this is what our solution looks like. It builds on our collaboration environment platform that we introduced last year. Don't be frightened by everything that you see here. You don't need all of these pieces, all of these snap-ins in collaboration environment to get the benefits of our WebRTC solution. But if you take everything, you do get a really nice package that I'm going to show you how it works. All right, so at the top, we have the web application, an existing customer-facing web application that the developer has incorporated a JavaScript library that was produced by Avaya. And when the user clicks to call, the first thing that web application is going to do is it's going to store context about that call into, in this case, our context store. Could be another database, but the context store is a really nice, highly scalable, highly available in-memory data grid that's ready and waiting to take that context. It gets back an identifier to that context that again gets relayed by the browser to our snap-in along with the customer's identity if he or she has logged in. And that information then is put into the SIP invite that is sent out to Avaya Aura. I'm going to show then the call coming into our collaboration designer workflow editing tool. It's a two-dimensional business process modeling tool. Again, this could be an experience portal or other IVR that knows how to access that data. The contextual information is passed in a way so that it's available to your existing contact center infrastructure. What that workflow is going to do, it's going to grab the context out of the context store, find out why this guy is calling, and it's going to then use that information to go to our work assignment element. It's like a next generation ACD to select an agent that's an expert in the product that this person is calling about. In this case, it's going to be blue jeans. We're getting a blue jeans expert on the phone. After that, the invite is routed to the agent, but first it's going to stop by our real-time speech snap-in that is going to be able to listen into this call, and in real time, it's going to be able to detect phrases that are spoken by the agent to make sure that he's adhering to his script and is doing everything that he's supposed to do to talk to this customer. Finally, that invite is sent on down into, again, the existing Avaya Aura contact center. It hits in the agent desktop. You see I have 1X agent here. This is an old client, it's H323, it's not even SIP, but it's able to, because of that context that's passed in, go and do a screen pop that shows that contextual information about who is calling and what he's calling about, gaining a lot of great stuff from the WebRTC addition onto this existing contact center deployment. So the first thing I want to show you here in action is the creation of a workflow using our collaboration designer. Whoops, I wasn't going to show you that. All right. So this workflow gets kicked off with a start event that in this case is a call intercept start event. And what you're going to see when I start this off is I'm going to grab some information out of there. I'm going to grab a call ID out of this start event. All right, so I've got some business process variables here. I come down and get the universal call ID, the UCID, and I assign that to one of my process variables. And I hit save, and I'm done with that mapping. So now I'm going to move on to the first step in my workflow. The first step is I want to get that context ID that came in with that SIP invite. Okay, so I do this get call context task. And I'm going to do an input mapping. That's going to be the call ID that I got out of that start event. That's the information passed into that task. And then I'm going to get information out. What I'm going to get out of it is the context ID that provides the handle to the actual contextual information. Now, I'm not going to show you all the mappings of the different task types that follow because it's all the same sort of thing, and I only had a few minutes, as you know. But we're